Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to obtain every Mask Shard in Hollow Knight. There will be a ferret hidden somewhere in the video. If you can find them, feel free to let me know in the comments. Now let's begin. Luckily, we are going to be starting today right here in Dirtmouth, which is where we can actually obtain 4 different Mask Shards. These can be obtained after you have already saved Sly from the infection in the Forgotten Crossroads. These Mask Shards are going to cost 150 Geo, 500 Geo, 800 Geo, and 1500 Geo respectively. In order to fully unlock his full shop to grab all of these Mask Shards, you will need to find the item called the Shopkeeper's Key, which can be found directly outside of the Crystal Guardian boss arena by scaling the wall. Now we're going to be heading down to the Forgotten Crossroads. From the Hot Springs room, as showed here, we can travel our way down to where a Mask Shard is going to be visible to us. It is recommended that we have Mantis Claw here, but if you aren't in infected Crossroads like I am, there should be a vent fly to the right that you can lure over and pogo in order to jump into the gap in the ceiling. That way you are able to get this Mask Shard early. But simply, you just have to take Mantis Claw and jump through, and you should very easily be able to fall down and collect this Mask Shard. Next, we can go to the top left corner of the Forgotten Crossroads map, in which we will find Grub Father. When you first arrive, he's going to be crying in hopes that someone's going to bring back his children, all of his grubs. But once you have collected 5 of them, at least 5, he will then gift you with 1, Geo, and 2, the thing we're looking for, a Mask Shard. But from here, we're actually able to get another Mask Shard, so we're going to go ahead and head out of the Grub Father room. Once we do, we're going to be able to jump down in the exact same room that the Grub Father room is connected to. Once we fall enough, on a very not careful jump down, we'll find a breakable door. This area can be accessed both before and after the Forgotten Crossroads becomes infected. After we traverse through the area, we are soon met into a boss battle with the Brooding Mawlek. If you're doing this early in the game, it could be a bit challenging, but it just takes some practice. Once you're able to defeat him, you are granted the winnings of a Mask Shard. Now we can head to the next area. We're going to head into one of the stag stations called Queen Station. If you already have this, congratulations, you can warp there. This area can be found by falling under Green Path through the Fog Canyon, but can also be found going into the upper left section of Fungal Wastes. This Mask Shard is easy to find, but does require the Mantis Claw to obtain. If we take a course through the Fungal Wastes, and drop almost all the way to the bottom of this area of the map, to the right of the Mantis Village, we will soon find an NPC called Bretta, who is currently infected. On our way, we will find the charm Dashmaster, which you can pick up on your way. Next, we just have to do a little bit of parkour. Past the Explodey Boy, which I sadly get hit by, and some spikes. Before curing Bretta and sending them back to Dirtmouth. Now, all we have to do is make our way back to Dirtmouth, whether it be via going back up ourselves or the stag station, where we now have access to their home. When we go inside, you will be able to find her journal, but most importantly, another Mask Shard. Around this part in the video, the audio seemed to have gotten a bit broken, so enjoy the serene music for now. If you've made it this far, put a womp womp in the comments to confuse those who didn't. Now, back to the video. For this next shard, we will be making our way back to Green Path. You will have to travel through the shrubbery path to find a location called the Stone Sanctuary. This is a place where the boss, No Eyes, resides. Where you are here able to fight the boss only once you get the Dream Nail. While getting the Mask Shard, I recommend getting Lumafly Lantern from Sly first, as it will become a lot easier. But it is not required to get the Mask Shard, but it does help you get proper movements. Feel free to watch how I do it carefully, that way if you are doing it in the dark, you do not miss a step and fall down into the spikes. Next, we are going to be heading to an unrequired area of the casual game, the Royal Waterways. This does, however, require a simple key, so make sure to have one on hand. Once you drop down, you mostly have to head directly to the left of where you fall. This area looks a bit complicated at first, but just make sure you don't get lost. There are a lot of different enemies in this area of the game, but most if not all of them can simply just be avoided as you make your way to the Mask Shard. Once you've defeated the Mantis Lords, you unlock Deepnest, but soon realize, hey, there's a Mask Shard. In order to collect this, you will need to go all the way up and out of the Mantis Village to this small room that you see here. You must have the Monarch Wings to jump up into the room, but once you manage your way, it is a simple dodge and weave downwards past terrain and enemies, where you will soon drop down into Deepnest and be able to claim that mysterious Mask Shard you found before. And now from here, it's time to go to the polar opposite of the map, back to the Crystal Peaks. Once you have obtained the Monarch Wings, you are now able to fly into the new area, where you will need to fight the Enraged Guardian to obtain the Mask Shard. This fight isn't too difficult, just make sure he shoots his laser down at you, and you can jump over it for the most part. Our next stop is going to be the lower tram. This tram can be taken both within Deepnest, which is where you find the tram pass, and above the ancient basin. You will want to take this tram all the way to the right and then break a difficult to see breakable wall that is behind what looks to be flies. This will grant you access to a new location called the Hive. After traversing through the Hive, you will eventually fall into a room where you can find a Mask Shard inside of a wall. This wall, however, can't be broken by the player. You will have to lure one of the big bees over and try to get it to dash into that wall. Once it does, you can go in and collect the Mask Shard. Now, we're actually going to go see my moth friend, the Seer. He is a moth that you can bring something called Dream Essence to. And if you bring him exactly 1500 Dream Essence, he will give you a Mask Shard. And now, it is time for us to sadly do the most difficult Mask Shard of the game. Once you leave the Seer, you're going to want to drop all the way down. You're going to be going through breakable floors and walls. Eventually you'll find this small house, where once you go inside you will meet the Grey Mourner. She will gift you with something called the Delicate Flower, that you unfortunately have to go all the way over to Queen's Gardens to deliver. Here is the easiest path that I have found on how to get it there. Just keep in mind that this does require you to have Yzma's Tear, and you must open the access gate in Queen's Gardens, which allows you to jump upwards towards the Stag Station from the beginning of the area of this map, as you cannot take Stag Stations or the flower will break. Once you have traveled, you will eventually end up here. Take this opening and you will... Alright, I guess I'll go get another flower then. Anyways, you want to go through this area of the room and deliver the flower. After which, you can simply go back to the Grey Mourner, let her know that you delivered the flower, and she will give you a gift of the final Mask Shard. Now that you've collected all the Mask Shards, I hope you've enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe in order to keep up with the content, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.